Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final week of the Preservation Resource Center of New Orleans' first ever virtual shotgun house tour presented by Entablature Design Build and Entablature Realty. We're so excited to have you. Today's tour is truly a unique home that you will not forget. So thank you for taking your Sunday afternoon to spend a little time with us here in New Orleans. My name is Danielle Del Sol. I'm the Executive Director of the Preservation Resource Center of New Orleans, and I'm broadcasting today live from my home, which is a single shotgun house in Uptown New Orleans. This home is a wonderful house that we're about to tour. We're going to go just a few blocks downtown live to the home of Adam and Elizabeth Keckler, also in Uptown New Orleans. This home is a single shotgun as well, and it won Best Renovation of the Year in 2018 from New Orleans Homes and Lifestyle magazine. So it is a home truly worthy of a cover story, and you're really going to love this tour. Not only does it showcase their amazing restoration, but they have beautiful furniture and an amazing art collection as well. So this is a true full package. It's a wonderful treat, and we're especially grateful to the Keckler family for hosting us today. Like all of us in New Orleans, they are busy with hurricane preparations today as we have not one but two storms headed our way. And so it was really incredibly generous of them to still agree to have us today on this tour, host us. Thank you so much, Keckler family, and we're just really grateful to you for taking the time out today. For those of you who are watching here in New Orleans, I hope that this is an hour of respite for you, an hour to relax and enjoy amidst everything else going on. As you all know, the Shotgun House Tour is one of the Preservation Resource Center's annual fundraisers. We are a 46-year-old nonprofit organization, and we had to cancel all of our spring fundraisers this year and our summer fundraisers as well. And that has really impacted us financially. So we are asking everyone who is watching today to consider making a donation to the PRC to help us support not only free programming like this, but the wonderful work we do in the community every day to support the preservation and restoration of New Orleans historic architecture, neighborhoods, and cultural identity. We have a suggested donation price of $25 that we ask you to consider, but we're grateful for anything that you're able and willing to give. If you go to our website, www.prcno.org, there's a button in the top right corner that says make a donation. You can click that button, and the rest is very simple. While you're on our website, you can also check out our fabulous merchandise. It's a lot of fun shopping with the PRC. We have everything historic New Orleans themed that you might want to check out. We have really cool t-shirts, tote bags. We have 4 fabulous mask designs. These are shotgun houses, really comfy quilted material. We have our wonderful book that was published last fall, Building on the Past, Saving Historic New Orleans. Makes an excellent gift for birthdays, holidays, any occasion, just to surprise someone. Check it out. You can also become a member of the Preservation Resource Center on our website. Memberships start at just $35 a year, and you get all sorts of wonderful benefits, including our award-winning magazine, Preservation in Print, delivered right to your home 9 times a year, and free and reduced prices on merchandise and tours and events, and hopefully we'll be able to be in person and do those once again very soon. So go to our website, prcno.org, check it out, have some fun, buy a few things. Everything that you purchase from the PRC helps support this nonprofit and our mission, and we thank you. I want to thank so sincerely our sponsors for this year's Shotgun House Tour. Entablature Design Build and Entablature Realty is our title sponsor, and they didn't blink an eye when we told them we had to go virtual this year. Their support has been constant, and we're incredibly grateful to Chris Kornman and everyone at Entablature Design Build and Entablature Realty. Thank you for your support. I also want to thank so sincerely our event chairs whose work with iMoto and whose flexibility also helped us transition to virtual with almost no hiccups. That's the Graham Bell Parker group of Ladder and Bloom. Thank you, ladies, so much for your support. Thank you to Louisiane, whose delicious ready-to-drink tea is the official beverage of the Shotgun House Tour. We have some great flavors today, like raspberry, green tea, and honey. It's really great stuff. I'm drinking my unsweetened today, that's my preferred choice, with lime in my Preservation Resource Center Mignon Fege cocktail glasses. You can check that out on our website as well. Really delicious teas. Thank you, Louisiana, for your support. Thank you also to the New Orleans Architecture Tours Group, Zangara and Partners, Hamilton Brothers Construction LLC, Shack of Homa, Southern Animal Foundation, Albert Architecture, Audubon Title Insurance Agency, Crescent Title, Margaret Stewart, Sarah and Doug Stokes, Atomic Architecture, Cypress Building Conservation, Expressed, and Rita Loudamy of Hill Riddle Jr. and Associates. Thank you to the Hancock Whitney Bank Group, who, in addition to supporting Shotgun House Tour, have signed on as the first bank to support the Preservation Resource Center Revival Grants Program, which brings free home repairs to low-income homeowners in historic districts. I also want to thank the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities, which gave us a Louisiana Culture Care Fund grant funded by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation to help us with operating costs during this pandemic. Thank you for that gift. It was so generous and we're so grateful. I want to thank the CR Coffee Roasters and Kevin Pado. CR Coffee is located at 3618 Magazine Street. Delicious New Orleans roasted coffee. It would have been our tour headquarters had we had this event live in March, but you should go check them out anyways. They're a wonderful, wonderful coffee roaster. Thank you to the Roth Law Firm and Continental Underwriters for their continued and most generous support. And I really want to give a huge shout out to our team at the PRC for pivoting so quickly when we went on lockdown from an event that was all ready to go to be live in person. We were just weeks away, and suddenly we had to figure out how to do this virtual. They didn't blink an eye. They are rock stars, all of them. Thank you, Serena Mohan. Thank you, Danielle Watson, who's our amazing videographer today. Thank you, Davis Allen, who's behind the scenes today, making this all happen. Witten Payne and Susan Langenhenge, you guys are all amazing, and I'm so grateful to work with you and honored to work with you. I also want to thank all of our PRC supporters, members, long-term fans. Your support and your friendship during times like these make everything possible and make everything worth it. So thank you all so much for being members of the PRC and for supporting us financially and emotionally as lovers of New Orleans historic architecture. Before we get to the tour, I have a very quick ad to show you. It's an ad for Louisiana tea, but it's a great one because it shows you how to take their tea and make it into a delicious cocktail. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now, and you will get to watch for yourself. Here we go. Okay, great. Now, we're just about to take it over live to Fauché Street in Uptown New Orleans, but before we go, I want to explain to those of you who are joining us for the first time how this all works. So if you are joining us via Zoom, you can see us, but we cannot see you. That's how this works. You can see us, we cannot see you, but you can communicate with us, and I encourage you to do so. There's two buttons on the bottom of your screen. One says Q&A and one says chat. So you could submit any questions you have about the home, about the restoration as they walk through the home, and I'll be monitoring those questions. I'll either pop up during the tour and ask them, or at the end of the tour, we'll also have some time for Q&A. So send your questions in as the tour is going, and I will relay those to the homeowner. You can also try in the chat box to communicate with me regarding any technical difficulties you have or just general questions about the PRC or our work, and I'll get back to you on that as well. So that's how you reach out during the tour. Like I said, we'll have a few minutes at the end for questions, so send in any thoughts you might have, and I will relay those to our hosts. So we are going to go live now to 1121 Fauché Street in Uptown New Orleans, and we're going to start the tour with Will Erickson, who is the head of Yazoo Restorations and oversaw the incredible renovation of this home just a few years ago. Okay, Will, are you with us?
Hi, how are you guys? Welcome to Fixtures Street. This is a home we renovated for the Kecklers a couple of years ago because they had a growing family. It's a double lot. Most of the front stayed exactly like it was. Most of our work was on the back side and, through the middle of the house. It's right next to Harry's Hardware off a magazine. So you have a nice brick wall, as the, I guess, property that butts up to the, their property. And we added roughly 2,200 square feet, I believe. The original house was about 1,500 square feet, but we did a total renovation on the whole house. So I think now we can go inside. Hi, Elizabeth.
Welcome. Come on in. Come on, Sam. And this is, no one can see, but this is Sam, our very, very sweet beagle. And she's going to give the tour for the rest of the time. I'm going to be off duty. Welcome. Hi. Welcome, welcome. This is our beautiful home, and we're so happy to open the doors and let everybody see a sneak peek. I guess we'll just start off, but this is just the front living room. We use this occasionally, as most people, they're formal dining areas. We probably don't use it nearly as much, but we like to gather here, especially in the colder seasons or colder months, and we'll have a little fire and sit over here and have a cocktail at the bar. And if our toddler is behaving herself, she can join us as well. Sam also partakes in the festivities. What else about this room? I think I do want to point out one of the things that I do love about this particular space is the art. I'm a big fan of Cole Pratt Gallery, so we've procured a lot of various artists from their gallery. This one right here is Vertanian. I'm pronouncing, hopefully my Mississippi accent isn't botching that up too much, but this is one of his pieces. It's fairly new, got it maybe right when the renovation was done. And then this piece over here is not local. It is by an artist from Mexico named Olga de Emerald, and I like it. It's simple, it's subtle, but it's very interesting if you get up close. It's a very nice, cool textured piece, and I think it complements the other one really well. And no one judges on our bar take. And if we keep just walking through, we move from the formal into the dining room, which we use every single night, fully plated and seated. No, we do not. We use this on holidays mainly. It's important that we could fit everybody around the table, but it is just myself, normally my husband, and my, again, toddler and Sam. But I think what's cool about this room, it is we used a darker paint color, which is
Pharaoh and Ball Elephant's Breath is the name of it.
Yeah, and so actually throughout the house, you'll see that we kind of alternate from skimming stone, which is kind of light and bright, to this color, which I feel like it makes it a little bit more intimate, a little bit more romantic. I think the chandelier makes it more romantic. And full disclosure, I do not have a lot of time to read a lot of books, but anyone that wants to pretend like they are a very studious reader, they can go to strandbook.com, which is a New York company, and you can give them the exact measurements that you want and the color palette you want, and they'll send you boxes of books to fit in your bookshelf. So that's a little tip, little secret. But yeah, we love the chandelier. We got that from Balzac across the street. Very interesting, very delicate, intricate, very difficult to hang because it is so delicate. Those are actually beads that are on it. But, you know, I had different pieces that inspired each room, and this was definitely one of the pieces that inspired this particular room. In addition to that, I also would say that the oars that you see over to, I guess, my left, another local New Orleans artist is Raine Bledsole. We actually got her to commission these oars. I don't know that she no longer does them, but we just thought that would be a great add to make something a little bit, give the room a little bit more height, make it interesting, but yet it's still a little bit, you know, nondescript, I guess. And then as we keep moving on in, this is where all of the action happens. This is our kitchen. This is where we normally have all of our meals and gatherings. And honestly, when we did have people over, this is kind of where we'd hang out. I mean, I'm not by any means a chef, so I think it was important when Will and I got together that because I'm not really a chef, this piece in particular is really important to me because it's a piece of furniture. It's not, you know, another sink or another prep area. This is just more a piece of furniture like you have in your other rooms. It's pretty cool because it does have drawers that come out, so you can set up a buffet here for formal dining in the other room. So this was the inspiration piece for the kitchen. And I think when Will and I were doing this, one of his biggest points was we want to make this as light and airy as bright as possible. We have these windows, which are amazing. And so he actually suggested lifting up the casings of the room so we could get more light in here for the kitchen and the dining room. So.
This is a Calcutta-honed marble countertop that we found here in town. And then the backsplash tile is from Ann Sachs. It's just like a Subway polished ceramic tile. Hardware on the cabinets came from Rocky Mountain Hardware. And then all of the appliances are Thermador. And the kitchen sink and faucet is Waterworks.
And again, I think we're just for the kitchen, we're looking for something light and bright, and really just the showcase is just the windows and the view outside.
We also did the banquette, the custom banquette area. We just had a carpenter build the base, which has some drawers, and then we had an upholsterer make the back of the seat. It just really just hangs on the wall. It's just has a cleat, and then it just slides. The cushion just slides onto the wall. It's a pretty simple thing to build.
And if anyone's ever interested, I mean, a lot of questions that I get are, what was it before, and what is it like now? And before we did the kitchen, this is actually, if you can imagine this was actually a caged and laundry room. So it had a full shutter door. So this wasn't even a space that we really, was appropriate for a kitchen. So we knocked that out, put the laundry in the back, and made this the kitchen nook. And then where the refrigerator is behind you, used to be a fireplace. So it was at an angle. So we took the fireplace out and repurposed the mantle because it was part of the existing house, and put it in the master bedroom, which you'll see later on. So I think if that's interesting for you to know. But it definitely opened up the kitchen, and it kind of gave it more of a balance and certainly more symmetry. Taking cues over here. Okay. This is obviously my personal favorite part of the house. I imagine I have to give a huge shout out to my architect, John Weaver. He was the mastermind behind actually designing these windows. This was probably the most, or definitely the most, it was a labor of love in creating these, but they this whole hallway used to be a side porch. And so we bumped out the porch to make it now this existing hallway. And if you see down below, and actually they're on this side too, we have shutters that we took from the windows outside and repurposed them to kind of close off the hallway from the other kind of living spaces. So that's like one of, we really tried to take the stuff from what we did to restore the house and try to repurpose it throughout the renovation process. So that's kind of a cool fact. But this hallway is one of my favorite. And then, where are we going to next? And then before we renovated, God, I gotta remember, this closet was added. And again, we repurposed the doorknobs from the existing house, which are very detail oriented. The ones we didn't repurpose are all from Baldwin. The doors original, and this used to still be a bedroom, but the house before the renovation was 2 bedroom, 1 bath. And what we did for this particular bedroom that used to share the bath with the master, we closed it off and gave the whole bathroom to this guest bedroom, which is a double sink, and it's I think a very generous bathroom for especially a guest bedroom. This bed was actually my childhood bed, which Adam, my husband, he's 6'2", he's always like, "Oh, we have such little tiny beds and furniture," and I'm like, "Well, it's it's a treasure." So the fact that we can kind of repurpose these things, in our lives is always fun. Then we go into, this series of art was a gift from my sister, who really I need to also shout out. My sister's and my mom both have a very talent for art. So most of this art, they were definitely hands-on and very helpful in helping me select and pick out. And then we go into, okay. And then you'll have to remind me about this.
We just kind of livened this up a little bit just by putting a new mirror and new sconces in, but everything else was existing. So we just freshened it up with the lighting in the mirror.
And this was custom made, but this we originally did when we first moved in. And then the linen shelf was made. Y'all made that, right? Yeah. But it's good storage. You use it for towels and sheets and all that good stuff. And then the door is also original with the hinges and the doorknob, which is always
Has a rim lock, original rim lock, all kind of turn shape.
Okay. And then once you get out of the guest bedroom, this used to be actually what is now our library, used to be our master bedroom. And then once the master bedroom ends, used to be the existing original house. And then Yazoo took it over and just added a whole nother wing. So we're very excited to have that addition. But now we use this as our sitting room. This is kind of where Adam and I congregate after dinner, talk, whatnot. We used to watch football. Obviously, that's not happening. Well, soon, very soon. But yeah, this is the place we like to get together with family. It's more casual. These books were not ordered. I like to say that we did read every single one of these books. Let's see, what else about this particular room? The couch was bought at an auction. These chairs were bought on Magazine Street Antiques. Oh, but they're one of my favorites. The name escapes me. And the table's just designed within reach. And then I guess we'll keep going on. And then this is where the addition starts. So this is where Will really did his magic.
We matched all of the existing windows and all the existing floors through the house. These are salvage pine, heart pine floors. So our goal, you know, was to make this look like it was always here. So I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you did a really good job. Even to like the casings look original, the floors look original. Will and his team were such a pleasure to work with, and his eye towards detail you just don't see with a lot of, personally, that I found with a lot of contractors. I think that's the reason why we hired Will and his team, is because you're getting more than just a contractor, for sure. And he makes it fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why not? This is a Todd Murphy photograph that we just got recently. He recently unfortunately passed, but he's from Georgia. And I just thought it was picture one. It's just dramatic at the end of the hallway, but also kind of gives a nod to New Orleans with a palm. But big fan of that. Toddler likes to get her hands real close to him, like, ooh, just wave, it's art. This way. And then we just turn into here. This is the other guest bedroom. We've got a funny story about this towel. My husband, he famously calls it the 10-week towel, because we were on a time crunch and we only had like, I think 8 weeks before we had to get it installed. And he was like, where's that 10-week towel? Where's that 10-week towel? But we ordered this over from Europe, so it was definitely worth the wait. And I think it makes this little bathroom. It's a sweet little area. And then this is the second bedroom. I think what's special about this room is I love the light fixture. We got that again from Balzac, one of my favorite antique stores here. Hey Sarah. And I think what else makes this room really special is this little tiny piece of art behind you was the first art that my mom or my parents ever purchased. And so we got to use it in this room. And I just think that's a sweet nod to them. And obviously as impactful as they were in this whole project. So add some little character and love into the room. Okay. Now I think we are headed upstairs. And I'm gonna let the camera walk first. No one wants to see my dear.
This was a little challenge for us, is the staircase curves. So you have to get all of your angles right and do a mock-up and everything. And we actually just put this red primer on there and had intentions of painting it, but when Elizabeth's mom saw it, she's like, no, I want to keep it red. So it was actually just primer. There's no paint on it.
I totally forgot about that. This really was like a labor of love, making this staircase fit. It was a very tight fit. And I think they did this beautifully. And then upstairs we just have, well, I'll do a shout out to, this is another local New Orleans artist. A new favorite of mine is Dan Tague. And we just purchased these not too long ago, but he's so talented and I just love his stuff. And if you have time to look up his website, his sayings are pretty spectacular and humorous and funny and light. So he did those. And then if you keep on walking forward, this is Lily's room. She's out getting ice cream right now. She's nowhere to be found. Hence, no toys. But really with this room, I just want to keep it light and bright. Again, I'm pretty simple and modest in terms of, you know, interior decorating. Serena Lily was what we used for the wallpaper and the light fixture in the crib. You know, I just wanted to have a minimal feel. Yep. And so now we're going into our master. Again, the bathroom, I think we wanted to give it a little bit more of a masculine flair. Not a masculine flair, but I definitely wanted the countertops and the sinks to be a little bit, before Adam has to deal with so many females in the family. So we just want to keep it simple and a little bit, masculine feel.
This is a marble that Ellen and Elizabeth found here in town. And then we did the Reburn medicine cabinets above them that are really nice for storage. I don't know if I'm allowed to open it or not, but.
No. Do not open any closets. Anything that has a door, do not open.
These, and then we made these are really pretty simple, modern floating vanities, but we did make them, where you can store things in them.
But that's like another example of like when you're using Yazoo and Will, like I didn't have anything really to say to pick these out, but how easy and simple are those? I mean, these are just a great add of that kind of detail that I didn't have to really worry about. Will totally took over and certainly made my life easier. But also like in all the pocket doors, you picked out all of these too. And then, although they're not original, they certainly, again, fit the mold of the house. Okay, so this is a little wet bar, which I know sounds a little silly, but my sister and mother and myself were taking a girls' trip to Miami, and we were staying at this hotel, and they had this wet bar, and I just was like, just wanted to really figure out a way to incorporate it, and so, it's just a nice add. You can leisurely on your Sunday mornings have a nice cup of coffee. No kids are running in. That's how the dream would go. Hasn't quite been put into practice that much, but we'll whitewash these.
And it's all cypress. We actually use cypress weatherboards on the backsplash, and as you can see, it goes all the way up. The floating shelves sit between it.
I'm getting closer. Last room upstairs. This is our master bedroom. This is another Cole Pratt Artist Strickland, which I think warms the room up. We really wanted this room to be light and airy, and that color palette just it makes it feel warm, but also light and bright, just like the kitchen. The bed was bought from an antique store in Mississippi, and I'll let Will actually explain how he hung the shutters.
So those doors are really heavy, and instead of just screwing them into the wall, we actually made like a little piece of wood that sits right on top of the baseboard. So they have a frame around them. You can see we built that, but then we painted it, to kind of whitewash it to match the doors.
And that's like definitely my favorite part of this room.
And then we added the fireplace behind you. It's actually not a functioning fireplace. It's just strictly decorative. And we used the old mantle that was in the kitchen for that. And then the balcony and all, we matched, some spindles and stuff that were, in keeping with the house, and just put, same type columns and details that are on the front of the house as well.
Almost feels like you're like in a tree house a little bit with the magnolia tree, which is also one of my favorites. I can give a shout out to one more artist because he's a local Mississippian, so I need to give him a shout. This is a William Goodman piece. And I just thought it was a good contrast with the Strickland. But he's very talented as well. I think that's it up here. Huh? Strickland. Yeah, Strickland did that piece. I'm gonna do one more plug for you, okay?
Okay.
Again, like he he just has an eye for detail. So even just like the casing, like look how detailed the casing is. It matches like the existing house. Like it matches it perfectly. And I just think that eye for detail is just cannot be lost in all this.
And the baseboard
Baseboard.
cap, we matched too. It was in the original part of the house, and it's pretty unique. I've never really seen anything like that. These are some cypress doors that we bought at the bank just to kind of separate the master area from, you know, the rest of the house. It's almost like a little vestibule right here. But, they were, you know, just stripped down basically. We picked out some doors and just had them stripped down. They were probably originally exterior doors because this side would have had glazing on it.
And then I'm gonna let you walk first. These stairs are a little steep. Too nice. They're the same white horse. Probably getting close to dinner time. And then, I guess last but not least, we are going into what's now the playroom, or Lily's kind of our sitting room. It used to be a screen-in porch, and although we loved the screen-in porch, once we had Lily, we realized that she needed her own little room and space so she could get everything that she wanted out and be out of sight, out of mind. So that worked for us. Well, I guess what we added were, it was important to us to add similar windows like we have in the hall. So it makes it feel more of a sunroom. We literally just recovered the porch furniture with new fabric. And we got this piece from ABC. And then I don't remember where we got the table from. And then lastly, Yazoo actually, Will and team got a carpenter and made a little bit more storage. So again, we can have all that fun stuff for the kids.
We kept the beadboard ceiling that was originally in here, and there's also one in the long hallway that you'll see. And then the fan was pretty unique. I think it was given to Elizabeth's husband Adam as a gift from his mother-in-law, and it looks really good, but it doesn't keep it too cool.
Hence why we need to make this closed in and make it a room and add AC. But it definitely looks good. And yeah.
Yeah, the fireplace we put in, you know, to have it on and it was intended for the porch, but we just left it in place, you know, in this room since this is already existing.
Which we do like on those rare cold occasions. And then literally it's just a branch. A couple of people asked me where I got that, but it was just a branch that we found and it's just spray painted. I just wanted something with texture, to be honest. I just wanted something a little different and just, you know, I think it fills the space nicely. And get to go into, I mean, this is our yard. We couldn't ask for, you know, a nice situation to have, you know, a double lot. So I think that magnolia tree was here before the house. And, you know, we just kind of worked the landscaping around it. It's definitely the focal point. And we really just wanted the yard. It took us a long time to figure this out, to make it where it's not a weekend process, but more of like a quarterly process. So iron plants are easy to maintain. The Asian jasmine's easy to maintain. The boxwood. So we definitely used that strategy when we thought about the yard. It's definitely been a gem during quarantine because we had a space to run around in. So we're very blessed and thankful. I know that Will probably mentioned that Harry's Ace Hardware is our neighbor. They are the best neighbors. They actually let us pick our paint color to paint this side of their store, which is very, very sweet. And then we like the exposed brick. I think that's just a nice feel. You don't see a whole lot uptown, but it definitely still feels like you're uptown. I think we're gonna head back inside for a few, I hope, just a few questions. But it was such a treat to bring the PRC in, and we definitely, you know, we're happy to do so to help anything in our community in New Orleans. So thank you for joining us. I don't think that door's unlocked. I think we got to go around the whole front, I think.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. While Will and Elizabeth are leading us back indoors, send in your questions. I know many of you already have, but in just a minute, we'll get a chance to sit down with them and I'll get to ask them the questions that you have sent in, so keep them coming.
Little interruption here. We're gonna go unlock that door. Sorry, I was just stalling so we didn't have as much time for Q&A. Be gentle with your questions. All right, come back in. Sorry, I know it feels better out here. I think Sam's gonna join us too. Okay. This is great. This room's getting some use today.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you again so much for taking us through your gorgeous home. We've gotten so many comments so far about just the fact that the house is spectacular. So congratulations on such a beautiful renovation. The first question is about the renovation itself. I know that you all bought the home in 2009, but the renovation wasn't complete until 2018. So what was the point at which you decided it was time to change the house up? And how long did the renovation process take once you started?
So it was a personal decision for me and Adam. We were just getting to be at that age where we were thinking about family and growing our family. And with 1,500 square feet, we just wanted to see what else we could do to support that. So, I mean, we definitely did our homework and our due diligence and shopping around and looking at other possible other houses in the, you know, the neighborhood, but everything that we kind of looked at either was going to require renovation, it didn't fit us, or honestly, we really just love this neighborhood too. We love being neighbors with Harry's, we love being close to Lillette and all these great restaurants in Baru, and so that was kind of important. So I think before starting, we knew we were getting into a long project, but we definitely were, we felt good in our decision staying here and working with the existing house. And so then we called Will.
It was about a 10-month project.
Yeah, we were gonna live through it. My only tip would be, do not live through renovation if you can. If you cannot have to, if you don't have to sit through a renovation, I would say, you know, get out. But I have mad respect for the people that can live through renovation. That is not easy. And this wasn't, you know, it's just part of the process. So we jumped ship, moved to the quarter, and turned our keys over to Will.
One of the viewers is curious, was this your first major restoration project, and would you do it again? Yeah, it's for you, Elizabeth.
Yes. Would I do it again? I did do it again, actually. I did a little minor renovation and called Will. That's how good of an experience I had. I will always call Will when I'm doing renovation work over here. And that's when we actually, after Lily was born, we decided to close in the screened porch and make it a playroom. So yes, I would definitely do it again.
That's great. Everyone universally agrees that the hallway with all the windows is spectacular. And they are wondering, Will, if you remember the manufacturer of the windows in the addition.
We made at a mill shop here in town. We actually priced manufactured windows, and it was a whole lot more expensive than to have them just made. So they're Spanish cedar, and we had actually one guy. It's one guy, and he works with two guys in the shop. He made all of the windows.
What's his name?
Andrew.
Andrew, amazing. He's so talented. Yes.
That's incredible. Amazing. What about the yard that it looks onto? Who is your landscaper?
Chris from Acadian Landscaping. He does a great job. He's very efficient. He gets in, he gets out. He's got a great team. He also, you know, he's very functional. So he knew for us that spending time in the yard after, you know, the summer was just, we needed to not have to spend so much time in there to keep it up. That's what I'm trying to say. So he definitely keeps you where it's maintained and able to, like, you know, it's turnkey. So definitely a huge nod to him. He was great to work with. We've used him a couple of times, and he's wonderful.
That's a great tip. Thank you. I know you mentioned early in the tour the names of the paint colors. You said skimming stone, and one had the word elephant in it. Is that correct?
That's right. It's elephant's breath.
Elephant's breath. That's great. What's the company?
It's Farrow and Ball.
Oh, Farrow and Ball. Great. Okay. Thank you. We have a question from one of our Facebook viewers. Can you tell us once again where your light fixtures in the living and dining rooms came from?
The dining room that came from Balzac across the street at Sarah Scott. And what was the other one? Living room and the dining room? This room?
Yes.
We actually don't have any light fixtures in here.
Oh, that must have been a mistake then.
I'll get some. Hang on to that. TBD.
Okay.
But a lot of our chandeliers are from Balzac. I think their collection and her eye to detail and her knowledge on antique pieces is just, she's one of a kind.
That's great. Okay, we have a few more questions once again about the wall of windows. They're very popular. Do you have window treatments for that wall?
I don't think so.
Is it just always open? Like, do you have blinds to ever shut it off, get some shade, or is it always just open?
No, I'm just like bringing the light always, any day, every day, all hours.
That's great. And one of the viewers wonders, does it get hot in the afternoons?
You know, that's a good question. No, we probably should probably call Entergy. Or air conditioning bill is probably a little too hot. No, I'm just joking. No, it's fine. It does not get too hot here. It actually stays very insulated. So we have not run into that issue. I actually thought we were gonna have to put an additional air conditioning unit for the sunroom, but we were able to get all the way to this point with not having to need that. So these windows actually, they're beautiful and also very functional, and we get the great light.
That's great. You mentioned the name of the carpenter who made them, but what was the name of the mill shop again?
It's just Andrew Nixon Millworks.
Andrew Nixon Millworks. Okay. Marlene, that one was for you. Okay, thank you. We have a few questions about the upstairs. Is the dormer on the roof of the home functional or is it decorative?
No, just decorative. Just decorative.
Cool. And what about the windows upstairs? Are those salvaged?
No, Andrew made those as well, but we did match, the existing windows in the house, like the window behind you, the dining room window. They're 4/4. And we matched the molding, the mullions, and everything. So, but they're neat.
Are those windows on the wall functional or are they stationary?
They're stationary. We at one time had talked about making them functional, but I think at some point we just decided it was better not to have them functional. And there's transom at the top too, you can see. And then also you'll see like these pilasters that are kind of between, each set of windows. John, the architect, came up with that. So we matched the same detail on what was the porch and is now the sunroom, you can see as well.
That's great. So Elizabeth, you mentioned that prior to the renovation, the home was 1,500 square feet about. So now that you have this big, beautiful home that's complete, what is the total square footage of the house and how many bedrooms and baths are there?
I think it's probably around 2,300, 2,500 square feet, somewhere in there. Oh, excuse me, that's not right. It would it'd be like
started 1,500 square feet, and that was when it was 2 bedroom, 1 bath. We bumped it up to 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and now it is.
It's like probably a little under 3,000 square feet.
We're guessing, approximately.
We didn't get our facts.
Yeah, I didn't study. I didn't do my SAT training.
Will, what room or area of the renovation was the most labor intensive?
I would say probably back there in the stair hall. I mean,
that was tight.
Getting those stairs correct and getting all the angles and curves correct. I mean, that took some time and skill. This wall of windows actually was not that difficult.
Really?
It's just a little bit of framing and then trim carpentry.
I was so excited when those windows were popping in.
But I would say the stair area was definitely the most challenging.
One of the viewers is wondering who made the stair railing.
Ironwork Service, their local sub. The guy's name is Alan Tutory. He made it.
Great, thanks.
He's also fun to work with too, if I remember correctly. He's something.
Elizabeth, one of our viewers says, we are thinking about doing a major renovation with a small child in the house. Was it difficult? But it sounds like you all fled.
Yeah, to be completely honest, we did. We ran for the hills. And she wasn't born yet. And actually, we weren't even pregnant until actually we moved back in. So I honestly do not have firsthand experience going through renovation with a kid. I just know if I couldn't handle it myself, and then adding a kiddo, if he can get out, I would get out. It's
hard. There's dust. There's people ringing your doorbell at 7 in the morning. I don't recommend it. You really have to.
You have to be prepared. Yeah. With kids with schedules, there's stuff's coming in and out, and the noise, and
it's
not recommended, or at least I don't recommend.
No.
We have two practical questions. One of the viewers wonders, where is your laundry area? And the other asks, where do you keep your vehicles?
Okay, so the first question, the first answer to the answer to the first question is there is a laundry room, but it is hidden because we've got things in there that probably no one wants to really see. But it actually is a really cute area. It's actually an office and laundry area, and it's tucked underneath the stairwell. It's very tiny, and again, we just kind of close that sliding door.
Well, it's a very practical spot to put it. Very cool.
Yeah, again, that area is really, kudos to John Weaver and Will for figuring out, but that just, again, that little nook, that stairwell, it was such a small space to utilize. And obviously, as, homeowners, you want to maximize as much space as possible. So we're like, what can we do with this underneath the stairwell? And so that's where we threw in the laundry room in the office.
Very cool. Do you all have off-street parking, or do you park on the street?
So we park, we have a parking space, and we are very lucky.
You are. That is rare uptown.
Yeah, very lucky.
That's great. Well, the last questions really are just about some of the art. Some people missed something or wanted clarification. The painting right behind you at the end of the hallway that we're looking at. Once again, you said it was a Georgia artist who did that?
Yeah, it's a photographer. It's a photograph, and his name is Todd Murphy from Georgia. And that was a very, very heavy piece to hang. But we love it because it's very dramatic, but it's also it catches your eye as soon as you walk through the door. And I want people's eye to flow down the hall as opposed to looking at the other, living areas. But very talented.
It's so beautiful. One other piece someone was asking about was in your bedroom, your master bedroom. You mentioned the piece by William Goodman, but there was a piece above the mantle in the master bedroom. Do you recall who that was by?
Yeah, you've got some good listeners on the watching in. I do not remember his first name. His last name is Strickland, and he is being shown. He's over at Cole Pratt. So I'm sure if you just go to the website and type in Strickland, you'll see him. But I love his stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
No. I was going to even guess at the first name, but I'm not even going to go there. I think the last name's important.
Yeah, I'm sure if someone calls the gallery, they will know.
Erica will know.
Well, that was such a wonderful extra component of this tour was, supporting local businesses, which is more important than ever right now. So thank you for supporting so many of our Magazine Street proprietors as part of your home renovation. That's really wonderful.
Easy to do. We've got some very talented people in this community.
So true. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much again. Will, thank you so much. What a beautiful home. Just spectacular. I can't imagine a more fabulous way to end our first ever virtual shotgun house tour. So Thank you very much for having us, and y'all stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Goodbye, Sam.
Okay, well, I want to thank all of you one more time for joining us for our last in the series of our first ever virtual shotgun house tour. It's been such a pleasure to have you all joining in with us for the past 8 weeks. We hope it made your summer a little bit brighter, and we hope it got you excited for what will be our first ever virtual holiday home tour. Coming up in December, we'll have a lot more information on that in the weeks to come, and it's really going to knock your socks off. So get ready, get excited, become a member of the PRC so that you don't miss a single announcement about that or anything else that we're doing. We have classes throughout the fall that you'll want to tune into, everything from fun classes to really technical stuff about taking care of your historic home, whether you live here in New Orleans or anywhere around the country. This information is relevant and we have it for you. So join the PRC, sign up for our newsletters, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And everyone stay safe. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your support of the Preservation Resource Center. And please be safe as we face these storms. We've been through much worse in the past, and I'm sure that we'll get through this and continue to preserve and renew our historic, amazing city of New Orleans. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon.